All right, today we're going on a journey, a descent into the self. And let me tell you, this isn't your typical self-help trip. Think of it more as a dark, cautionary fable for anyone who's ever dared to really look within. Let's begin.
It all starts right here. Not with a bang, but with a shadow. It's this quiet, creeping feeling. A silent invitation. A shadow that just spills over everything you thought was solid. Everything you thought you knew about yourself. And that's the signal, right? The sign that you're leaving the familiar world behind and stepping into something, something deeply unsettling. This is the first step down.
So, you're at this threshold, this edge. But you're not alone. You get a guide. His name is Hermes. But here's the thing. He is not the kind, benevolent guide you might be hoping for. No. He's a trickster, a master of uncertainty, and he's standing right at the boundary of your conscious mind. His job? To lead you away from the safety of what you know and into the absolute wilderness of your own psyche.
This entire journey is defined by this one concept, the uncanny. And it's not really about discovering some brand new exotic thing. It's actually much weirder. It's that horrifying moment when something totally familiar, your own thoughts, your own reflection, your own body, suddenly feels completely alien. It's the return of everything you tried so hard to bury, and your guide, Hermes, is the one who's bringing it all to the surface.
See, Hermes doesn't give you a nice, clear path. Oh no. He's more like a divine thief. He uses reverse tracks, clever camouflage, anything he can to completely baffle your sense of logic. He's here to prove a point, that the walls of your mind, that fortress you call your ego, are actually incredibly porous and unstable. He is that little psychic slip, that mistake that accidentally reveals a hidden and, frankly, monstrous truth. And now, the real descent begins. You follow Hermes down into his subterranean world, into the damp basement of your own soul. And this isn't just some fancy metaphor. You're literally journeying into the architecture of your own body, a place where your biology becomes this terrifying living landscape. This right here, it's the map of the interior. The walls of the cavern around you feel like a thoracic cage made of granite. You have to walk through dense bronchial forests, navigate twisting intestinal tunnels. You can feel the fibrous veins and arterial roots pulsing with this dark, raw energy. This whole journey is about saying a sacred yes to the pulsing reality of the body, to an ancient internal science that our logic has tried its best to forget. And at the heart of this is a wild idea that all of geology, the mountains, the canyons, the entire architecture of the planet, it was all just practice, a rough draft. The final, most complex, most meaningful text is the body itself. So what you're walking through isn't just a cave, it's the primordial blueprint of all reality. Deep in the heart of this labyrinth, the real purpose of the journey finally starts to become clear, because it's here that you have to confront two terrifying truths about who you really are. The first is an encounter, and the second is an illumination, and both of them are designed to completely shatter the self you thought you knew. So think about it for a second. Who is that stranger that sometimes looks back at you from the mirror? Down here, in the depths of the labyrinth, you're about to meet them, face to face. This is the first great confrontation. Okay, so on one side, you've got your ego. That's the mask, right? The comforting story you tell yourself and everyone else about being a good, moral person. But on the other side, there's the uncanny devil. He's called the honest guest, which is just a chilling name for an interrogator who wears your face to show you how fragile you are. He is your hidden monstrosity, the raw power of the death drive, that deep, instinctual pull away from all the struggle toward the quiet, peaceful calm of inorganic stillness. And while you're grappling with this double, you look up, but there's no sky. Instead, a second, terrifying truth is hanging high above the central pit of your unconscious. It's the hollow sun. And it's radiating this cold, dark, unhomely light. Now, this sun isn't for warmth or life, not at all. It's a psitic scalpel. Its light is a surgical instrument, and its job is to peel away the protective skin of your ego, to expose the raw, hidden truths you've kept buried. Things like that subtle flicker of envy that you might disguise, even to yourself, as a virtuous call for equality.
This is the dead father, a silent, absolute authority whose gaze just silences your inner critic with the deafening roar of the void. So, you've been flayed by the light of the hollow sun, you've been confronted by your double, and now you're ready. You're ready for the climax of the entire journey. This is a ritual. It's the act of not just seeing, but fully accepting and integrating the most monstrous parts of yourself. This is your communion with the abyss. The final ritual begins. You approach an unholy altar, and there you're commanded to swallow the bitter bread of the id, the name we give to our most primal, raw, instinctual drives. Yeah, these are all the parts of yourself that your virtuous ego and your moralizing superego told you were toxic waste. By consuming it, you finally reconcile with this inner monster. Your shadow isn't just following you anymore, it becomes a permanent companion. And with that bitter taste comes a massive revelation. It's this: our raw drives, our id, that's the true architect of who we are, of everything we want. All those polite narratives about virtue and political equality, they're just a paper-thin surface stretched over this deep, primordial foundation. And right after this dark communion, crash. The great mirror of your ego ideal, that perfect, shiny, idealized version of yourself you always aspire to be, is shattered into 1,000 jagged pieces. You finally see it for what it was, just a costume, a mask for primordial forces and hidden envy. That illusion is gone, forever. Now we're at the final stage. You emerge from the labyrinth. But let's be very clear about something. You are not healed. You are not purified. You are integrated. You are fundamentally and hauntingly changed. To get out, you have to do one last thing. You have to harmonize your own breathing with the heavy, living breath of the cave itself. You can feel the tarantula of your instincts vibrating in your very marrow. And in that moment, instinct takes over. Your soul finds this strange, stone-like peace in just accepting the darkness. The internal civil war that's been raging your whole life, it's finally over. So after all of that, what have you become? Well, you're now a living symbol, etched with the ink of the abyss. You carry that dampness of the underground inside you, always. You've become the host for that inner beast he once tried so hard to repress. Your traumas, your strengths, they're no longer seen as external threats because nothing is external anymore. Your mind is now, and forever will be, occupied territory. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from this descent? What's the bottom line? It's this: your existence is now a haunted house with no floor. There is no solid ground of ego left to stand on. There's only this permanent state of being unhomely, of carrying the void within you. It is definitely not a comforting end, but it is an integrated one. And maybe, just maybe, that is the only truth that really matters.